That's a call meeting or have a roll call.
Kim Brown here. Mike Stiles.
Here.
Mike Oakley.
Here.
Stephanie Guerrero here. Brad Santola.
Here.
Linda Williams.
Here. Mr. Meadows, release the place for
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call or business here. We tell me that no one wants to address the board. Okay. Okay, consent agenda. Anyone have any questions or comments on minutes, bills, treasurer's report? Right. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
So moved.
Motion made by Kim, is there a second? Second by Brad Santola. Call roll, please.
Kim Brown. Yes. Mike Stiles.
Yes.
Mike Oakley.
Yes.
Stephanie Guerrero, yes. Brad Santola.
Yes.
And Linda Williams.
Yes. Superintendent's report.
I guess I'm just giving you a couple informational things on my report. One being, I made a copy of Governor Rauner's transition team, their report. It's this packet here on education. It was about a 93-page document, but I simply pulled out the education part of this. So if you have time, you can look through that, and that's what the transition team is telling him. We're all, I think, throughout the state right now, just in a wait-and-see mode with the new governor that has taken office. There are two dates that we are looking to see kind of the direction that this governor is going to go. One being on February 4th, when he delivers the State of the State address. We'll get kind of a glimpse of where he is. And then on February 18th, he will deliver the budget address to the state, and we'll have to stay tuned to that. I think between those two dates and between those two gatherings, we'll get kind of an idea of where education will be headed under Governor Rauner. So if you have time to tune into those, I would advise you to do so. And I'll keep you informed on any kind of analysis that I receive following those two addresses. And then, like I said, that will give us kind of an idea of where he's going to go. I also provided you an informational item on a report that I received from a group out of the University of Illinois about the finances in the state of Illinois. And again, this is one group's interpretation, so you can kind of take it or leave it, but it is one opinion that they're not telling us anything we don't know. The state of Illinois is in bad financial shape, and they're projecting a $9 billion deficit in FY16. So again, you know, that's their analysis of things, and there are people who provide analysis all over. But we'll just have to keep an eye on things and see. This kind of ties into the governor's transition and what he's going to say, because we've been told that the governor is going to help education. We'll see. We'll see if he will. But he's going to have to do it with less revenue unless he changes his mind and he pushes for the income tax that Governor Quinn had gotten through. If Governor Rauner comes back and says, I might have been wrong on supporting the repealing of that, we'll see. But even, I think the numbers say even projection, if that income tax would be extended, Illinois is still going to be facing a deficit. But we have been told that education will try to be treated with kid gloves with this governor because he sees the importance of education. So there may be other agencies that will be cut more significantly than education. I think we'll feel some pain, but we may not feel pain to the extent of some of the other agencies. But now this was an early projection after he's actually got into office and he started to go through things, he may have changed his mind. Again, watch February 4th and February 18th, and we'll see.
All politicians give lip service to education and it being a priority. We'll see.
We'll see.
Ultimately, it falls back on our lap to do the best job that we can for local.
I have a couple of questions. Are there any credible sources saying anything about transportation payment cuts this year?
Well, the word that we're getting is we were told basically to assume that we would receive 2 of our transportation payments. 2 of 4. We're due 4 each year. So we've been told that most likely hedge your bets on receiving 2 payments. A miracle could happen in the 11th hour on June 30th, and they might slip a 3rd one in, but they said let's not bet the bank on that. So
Off the top of my head, you know the dollars are on those 2 payments?
we receive around $63,000 for regular transportation, and we receive around $40,000 in special education transportation.
And the other thing that the 75, right now we're funded 80 or 89%. Also, any credible sources saying anything about reduction in those?
And I'm passing along this information from a meeting that I was in with Chris Cook, who's the head of the State Board of Education, or State Superintendent, Chris Cook. He did relay, he said, watch out for 2 payments, and then he said he thinks that the general state aid will not be prorated any more than what it currently is at the 89%. He said general state aid is a priority. But again, you have to almost take that with a grain of salt because you got 6 months left in this fiscal year. And the full effect of the income tax rollback has not yet been felt. So you have to be kind of wary about that. But again, the question is going to be, will the governor sacrifice other programs to preserve education? And that's basically going to be the question, is when it comes time to reduce spending, will he be willing to sacrifice the other services in the state of Illinois in favor of education? You're welcome. That's all I've got at this time.
I think I wouldn't mind you reading this and we'll probably got there to know what this says if you don't mind.
Oh, I don't mind. I know a couple months ago there were some questions about asbestos in our schools, and I contacted Randy West. I talked with him several times, and he's given me the same answer that there's no problem. But I wanted to go beyond even Randy West and the asbestos people, so I went to our regional superintendent, Matt Snyder. I said, now Matt, I want you to tell me if we got a problem, we need to deal with it. And I said, I want you to tell me what's what. And I said, not only that, I want you to put it in writing. And so Matt sent this letter. It says, upon conducting the annual health life safety site visit on September 8th of 14, and they do these health life safety visits every year. Regional office comes in. And reviewing the 3-year reinspection report for asbestos containing building materials that was conducted by CAM Solutions on October 16th of 12, I find that Sangamon Valley is in complete compliance with Illinois state requirements in all areas of health life safety. There are no findings regarding asbestos issues at this time. So that comes, and I provided you a copy of that letter signed by Matt Snyder, the regional superintendent.
So whoever was doing the phone campaign committee out there beside this board's writing asbestos issues, probably expected.
Well, I mean, we've acted in accordance with the law, and I've asked people to sign these. I've asked the Sentinel to print that in the paper. You know, I don't know. I mean, we're doing.
That should satisfy the self-appointed citizens asbestos inspection.
Can I address that, please?
No,
The head guy was there when we toured, and he's pointed out some things.
well, are you an architect, are you an asbestos
No, I'm
professional?
not.
Are you?
I was on the tour with the head of CAM.
Well, right there, we got in writing that we're in compliance, so good enough. It's just one more effort by you to discredit as many things as you can.
No, I just want the building to be
I'm
safe.
not gonna get in more words with you, because you know it's true. You went, hey buddy.
We were there.
You contacted the state representative about detaching Harristown. You went to Matt Snyder and told him that I personally broke Illinois, was in the process of breaking this one. This is just.
I think Giedel's the one that did that, not me.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure it's not true, but
I have to point out from, like, my point of view, and I would assume every administrator sitting over there, as well as the board, you know, most of us on the board have children in the school. It's illegal to do anything with asbestos and hide it. I can't imagine that any of these people would put their jobs on the line, from Landy West to independent agencies to insurance companies that tour the buildings for us, that would tell us it was safe if it was not. I don't understand where that comes from, but I myself, I guess I shouldn't speak for anyone else, but I myself would not put myself up here unless I believed the people who were doing our inspections and trusted in their abilities.
And Mike, this letter does not mean that there is not presence of asbestos in the school. This only means that it is safe away from the children.
Exactly, that's exactly.
correct, except for the one point. The one thing I mentioned to Thad was, the guy asked, where it comes out in the gym, makes those turns, he said it would be a reasonable request to have that sleeved in the corners. And that's all my request was. I talked to Thad about the other day. I said, that's a reasonable request to have it sleeved where it makes that turn when the bleachers are out. Right there, that is asbestos in that corner. Is it damaged now? No. Does it have potential for damage? According to your report, it does. All I ask for is you put plastic sleeves on so there's no way a kid can walk up there and put his finger through or a pencil and release that. That's all I want. I just want a safe building. Everybody wants a safe building.
Sure we do, we all do.
Sure, that's all I want. You guys make a mountain out of a molehill. The asbestos guy said to us, it's a reasonable request to have you guys sleeve it. That's fine. It's cheap fix. It's safe. It's safe now. Does it have potential to be unsafe? It does have that potential. So if we fix it, we're just doing ourselves a service.
All right,
Okay.
let's move on. What else you got? Spiritual director's report.
I don't, Mr. Field, do you have anything?
Can we interject here? Brad and I were talking about potentially doing another meeting either February or March, whenever would work out for you guys.
On the curriculum committee?
Correct.
That'll be fine. What I would recommend, we'll get some dates together, as possible times. And what I'll recommend basically is Mr. Meadows conduct that meeting. Since the curriculum changes or discussion would have to do it next year. I feel like he really needs to lead that. Mr. Meadows, if you don't care to maybe look at your calendar, maybe sometime this week, and maybe give Brad and Stephanie maybe a time, and if you would like me to sit in with you, I'll be happy to do that. But, like I said, the impact is going to be on your watch next year.
Okay, full business.
So,
Nothing else, anybody else, or any full business? New business, consider status of closed session minutes.
2 times a year, usually in January and July, you consider the status of the closed session minutes. Typically, I've recommended that it remain closed because of the confidential nature that's discussed in closed session. You've discussed many times personnel and students, so I recommend that you continue to keep those closed session minutes closed.
Okay, if everyone's in agreement with that, we need a motion to keep the closed session minutes from July to December of 2014 closed to the public. Motion made by Mike Stahl, seconded by Kim. Call roll, please.
Kim Brown,
Yes.
Mike Stahl,
Yes.
Mike Oakley,
Yes.
Stephanie Guerrero, yes. Brad Santola,
Yes.
and Leonard Williams.
Yes. Consider a resolution on Vision 2020.
I think I included in your board packet the Vision 2020 resolution or some information. This is really a platform that has been put together by educators throughout Illinois to present as far as kind of a pathway of where we would like to see education go in the state of Illinois. And it centers around 4 premises. 1, we push for highly effective educators. 2, we push for 21st century learning. 3, shared accountability. And 4, equitable and adequate funding. And the reason that I'm asking you to adopt such a resolution is what we're trying to do is the districts in the state of Illinois, we would like all the districts in the state of Illinois to adopt such a resolution and pass that on to the Illinois Association of School Boards. And then what they'll do is they'll pass that to show the support of this initiative in the local schools. They'll pass this on to our lobbyists, who then will pass it on to our legislators. And as a matter of fact, Governor Rauner, in his transition team, even made mention of the Vision 2020. So we're hoping that these 4 things are positive for education in the state of Illinois. And we're hoping that the governor will get on board with this and hopefully, put his support legally and financially to the Vision 2020 platform. So I'd ask you as a board to have Sangamon Valley support that resolution.
Any questions or comments on that?
Is there any cost included in this?
No, there is no cost. This is simply like I said, just a platform. So there's no, we're not asking any commitment to this. Hopefully, rather than a cost, hopefully he'll see the value of this, and it might actually gain us some money when he has to make that decision on whether or not education in Illinois is worth spending money on. And what we're saying is, well, we think it is, and we agree to these 4 things. And, I don't know what governor wouldn't agree to these 4 things. They're positives. We like I say, we want to be one of the school districts that maybe get on board with this.
Okay. Need a motion to adopt the Vision 2020 resolution.
So moved.
Motion made by Kim, is there a second? Second by Stephanie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Anything else before closed session?
No.
Anybody else have anything for you on closed session? Okay, need a motion to enter closed session, as stated on the agenda.
So moved.
Motion made by Kim, second by Mike Oakley. Call roll, please.
Kim Brown,
Yes.
Mike Stahl, Mike Oakley,
Yes.
Stephanie Guerrero, yes. Brad Santola,
Yes.
and Leonard Williams.
Yes.
Yes.
Mike Oakley,
Yes.
Brad Sangamon,
Yes.
Lauren Williams.
Yes. Need a motion to accept the resignation of Pam Hackert as lunchroom supervisor effective January 6, 2015.
So moved.
Motion made by Cam, second by Stephanie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, need a motion to accept the retirement resignation of Phil Johnson as ag teacher effective at the end of the 2014-2015 school year. Motion made by Brad, second by Cam. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Where you're at, Pat? Okay. Need a motion to accept the resignation of Monty Morgan effective 1/25/15. I'm sorry, 1/21/15, I'm sorry, I got it written 1/21, so 1/25. Okay, motion to accept the resignation of Monty Morgan effective 1/21/15.
So moved.
Motion made by Cam, second by Mike Oakley. Call roll, please.
Kim Brown.
Yes.
Mike Stowe.
Yes.
Mike Oakley,
Yes.
Stephanie Guerrero, yes. Brad Sangamon,
Yes.
and Lauren Williams.
Yes. Need a motion to offer a contract to Brian Britton as principal of Sangamon Valley West Elementary School for the 2015-2016 school year. Motion was made by Mike Stahl, seconded by Stephanie. Call roll, please.
Kim Brown.
Yes.
Mike Stowe.
Yes.
Mike Oakley,
Yes.
Stephanie Guerrero, yes. Brad Sangamon,
Yes.
and Lauren Williams.
Yes. Need a motion to employ Heather Hutchins as part-time lunchroom supervisor.
So moved.
Motion made by Cam, seconded by Mike Oakley. Call roll, please.
Kim Brown.
Yes.
Mike Stowe.
Yes.
Mike Oakley.
Yes.
Stephanie Guerrero, yes. Brad Sangamon,
Yes.
Lauren Williams.
Yes. Need a motion to grant leave to Susan Pearson under the FMLA Act for a period of up to 12 weeks, beginning in mid-April or early May of 2015 for the purpose of adopting a child. Motion made by, second by Brad. Call roll, please.
Kim Brown.
Yes.
Mike Stowe.
Yes.
Mike Oakley,
Yes.
Stephanie Guerrero, yes. Brad Sangamon,
Yes.
and Lauren Williams.
Yes. Need a motion to adopt the non-certified seniority list as presented.
So moved.
Motion made by Ken, for second. Second by Mike Staub. Call roll, please.
Kim Brown.
Yes.
Mike Stowe.
Yes.
Mike Oakley,
Yes.
Stephanie Guerrero, yes. Brad Sangamon,
Yes.
and Lauren Williams.
Yes. Is that it? We'll call the question here. That's it. Okay. Need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made by Mike Oakley, second by Ken. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.